Lil Wayne, Ariana Grande, Ben Affleck, Larry David, Alec Baldwin, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. What do all these names have in common? These are the names of celebrity homes that have either been bought or sold just in the past couple of weeks alone. I am constantly scouring the internet for the most interesting real estate stories to talk about here on the channel, and it never ceases to amaze me just how many multi-million-dollar homes are constantly being bought and sold by famous people. I know sometimes celebrities get a bad rap for blowing their fortunes on lavish things, but generally speaking, real estate is a pretty good place to park your money, so it doesn't come as a huge surprise that celebrities are spending so much money on real estate. With an average home price of over $16 million, in this episode, let's just run through some of the luxury properties that celebrities have bought and sold lately. First on our list today, we have a mansion listed by the rap legend Lil Wayne. On this one, Lil Wayne is asking $29.5 million. This place is located in Miami Beach, Florida at 6480 Allison Road, in a 24-hour guard-gated community, and this particular lot is pretty big at nearly 24,000 square feet with 110 feet of water frontage. Priced at nearly $30 million, the home is by far the most expensive in the immediate area. The property has 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and about 10,000 square feet of living space. Let's pull up some photos on Zillow together and check it out. So first we've got the entrance, which is pretty grand. It's got this sliding gate and then a nice contrast of wood and white stucco on the house itself. The view from the backside of the property shows all that water frontage. It has a huge dock, a nice sized yard, a big swimming pool, and a shaded bar. The living room area has lots of natural light and is looking out to the views. The kitchen is really cool. It's not necessarily the most impressive finishes we've looked at here on the channel, but I love how it sits right next to this courtyard and all the plants. Other than the basics, this house has a movie theater. Pretty much every bathroom feels like a spa. It's got custom cabinetry in the closets, and of course, it comes with an elevator. Public records say that Lil Wayne bought this place in 2018 for $16,750,000. So if he gets anywhere near his asking price, he stands to make a fortune. Lil Wayne is a total baller. He has amassed a net worth of around $150 million from his successful rap career, so it's no surprise that his Miami Beach house is pretty over the top. Next up, we've got a 300-year-old home. Yes, you heard that right. That was recently sold by Ariana Grande for $9.1 million. This one is located at 210 Miramar Avenue in Montecito, California. This is a pretty expensive pocket of Santa Barbara County, and some people say it's actually one of the best places to live in all of California. This home is definitely one of the more modest sized on our list today. It's actually only got 2 bedrooms according to Zillow. It has 4 bathrooms, and there's 5,500 square feet of livable space inside. Those specs might sound weird, but according to Mansion Global, this home was actually first standing as 2 separate barns in England before some ambitious Californian had the barns disassembled and then shipped to this location and then reconstructed. But anyways, back to Zillow. Even though this was an off-market deal, the listing photos are still up from when Ariana bought this place a few years back. It's got a much more warm and cozy vibe with a lot of intricate wood detail and a lot more texture in the furnishings. The kitchen is pretty cool. Honestly, if I saw this kitchen in a house by me though, I'd say it needs to be gutted and remodeled, but I can appreciate that this was relocated from England and all. And then you can see here as I flip through a few more of these photos that the landscaping around the property is super lush, and you've got views of some bushes or trees or grass from every room in the house. Ariana bought this place in May of 2020 for just $6.75 million, so if she gets her $9.1 million asking price, that would be a pretty good day. But something tells me she doesn't care too much about the profit. She's probably just bailing from this house since one of her stalkers was caught breaking in just a few months back on her 29th birthday. Next up, we've got a house in Ventura, California that was once owned by Johnny Cash. He lived here with his first wife. This one recently sold to a Johnny Cash fan for $1.85 million. Johnny's old home is located at 8736 Nye Road in an area called Casitas Springs. And you can see here the place is very private. Johnny Cash built it back in 1961 as an escape from all of the fame. This home is about 4,500 square feet. It's got 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. And even though the house itself is not the most impressive on our list today, I think the backstory is one of the coolest. There's not a ton of photos, but what we know is that Johnny Cash built this house to his exact floor plan specifications. and what I've read is that those specifications and design details are exactly the same today as when he lived here. The house has a long, windy driveway that leads up to the place, which has a swimming pool out back that you can see here. There's wood paneling on the walls in the office. The kitchen is pretty big with original cabinetry, and if you look close, you'll see that off the kitchen, there's actually an original wall-mounted turntable. I've never seen anything like that before, but now I want one. A lot of wood detail in the living room with brick on the floor. And then the neighboring entry room you can see over here is painted white with views out to the rolling hills. I know some people probably don't care about this stuff, but I'm personally a pretty big Johnny Cash fan, so I think it would be pretty cool to be able to call a place home that you know that he lived in way back then. Now zooming over to Palm Springs, we've got a house that's kind of cheating to be on a list because this one was never actually owned by a celebrity, but the house still made headlines because this $5.65 million modern home was actually rented out by Elvis Presley for his honeymoon back in 1967. Elvis and Priscilla were actually supposed to get married here, but the press found out, so they raced off to Vegas to get married before returning to Palm Springs for their honeymoon. Before we pull up the photos, I just have to say that I think it's pretty cool that one of the most successful and wealthy entertainers at the time, who could have gone anywhere in the world for his honeymoon, chose to instead just spend 4 days in a mid-century modern home in Palm Springs. I love that. Anyways, here's the house. Any of you guys out there who know Palm Springs know that this is a pretty common look. This part of California is loaded with mid-century modern architecture. It's got a circular shape to it that you can see inside the living room, also around the fireplace, and into the dining room. There's a nice big pool and lawn with great views out to the mountains in the distance. And the round theme even carries into the kitchen with a round-shaped island and a huge round range hood over the cooktop. Last photo we'll check out is the primary bedroom where Elvis and Priscilla probably stayed. It's got a circle of windows looking out to the palm trees and the mountain views. Palm Springs has gotten really popular and expensive over the recent years because it's a really popular Airbnb destination, but even with Elvis's name tied to this house, I think that $5.65 million is pretty steep. Last on our list today, let's head over to the Hamptons and take a look at an estate that just hit the market that's currently owned by Alec Baldwin. He's owned this house since 1996 when he bought it for just $1.75 million bucks, and he's asking $29 million for the house today. When we pull this one up on Google Earth, you'll see it's actually pretty far inland and very private because not only is the property sitting on 10 acres itself, but there's just not a lot of other buildings in the surrounding area. The home has 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, about 10,000 square feet of living space, and from what I read, this is the place that the Baldwins called home for the past 25 years since they originally bought it. Not a whole lot for photos on this home, unfortunately, but you can see on the exterior, it's got that farmhouse look. There's a nice wooden gated entrance leading you into the rock driveway. The backyard has a ton of grass, a huge swimming pool, and a covered cabana area adjacent to the swimming pool with a fire and a barbecue. It's not all that uncommon to see these super luxury homes that are available for sale that don't have interior photos, partly because the current owner might be super private and the potential buyers of this house also might be very private and just not want interior photos of their home out there on the internet. The timing of this listing is right in line with the settlement that Alec Baldwin just reached with the Hutchins family from that horrible event that happened on the movie set of Rust in 2021. So I can't help but wonder if part of the reason that he's selling is somehow tied to what's going on with that settlement. People are constantly buying and selling real estate. I mean, even though we all take out 30-year mortgages on our homes, it's very rare that anybody ever actually stays in their house for the full 30 years. So I guess we shouldn't be all that surprised when celebrities' names are constantly showing up in the headlines doing the exact same thing. Thanks for tuning in to another video, guys. I hope everybody had fun with this one. I'll see you next time.